Today we're going to talk about Omaha neighborhoods that lead to a very short commute time. And this is not going to be an exhaustive list, but this is something that I love talking about because it's a great selling point for Omaha. Our commutes are so short. And that's for folks who still commute because there are a lot of people that work from home in the metro. My name is Morgan Putnam and I'm a local realtor. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for stopping by the Omaha Insider YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you're always the first to know what's going on in Omaha. On my website, heymorganputnam.com, you can also download my free neighborhood guide, and this will give you an overview of all of the Omaha neighborhoods, and then you can kind of dive into specific areas to figure out what the right fit is for you. First, I want to talk about the average commute time in Omaha. So to get across the entire Omaha metro, not during rush hour, is probably going to take you about 20 to 25 minutes. And that is going from like all the way downtown to way to like a 204th Street on the west side. And during rush hour times, this could be 40 to 45 minutes. And if there's an accident, it could be longer. Average commute time for most people in Omaha is about 15 minutes because people tend to be able to live pretty close to where they're needing to commute to. And that makes a huge difference in the livability of the city and really the enjoyment of living in Omaha. A lot of businesses in the Omaha Metro have placed themselves along major corridors like Dodge, Interstate 680, Interstate 80. It makes it a lot easier to get to those businesses because those big main roads tend to be pretty easy to access. I want to lay some groundwork around some of the main businesses and places that businesses are located in Omaha. So there's obviously downtown, which has a lot of businesses. That's the home of some of like our big banking, some tech, just a lot of different things that are pretty normal businesses that you'll find downtown in big cities. And then as well as a pretty big insurance world. Mutual of Omaha is building this tallest building in Omaha right now. And so, and then there's a few other insurance companies downtown and kind of sprawled between downtown and midtown. And then there's Aksarben, which is home to UNO, and in between about Aksarben area and Midtown, there's UNMC, University of Nebraska Medical Center, which is a big employer in Omaha. And we're finding some companies having more interest in moving a little bit more west. And so along Interstate 80, there are LinkedIn, PayPal, Builder. There's some companies that are moving a little bit more on the west side of town just to be closer to folks who live more in the suburban sprawl of Omaha. And then Heartwood Preserve is also home to some bigger companies like Velmont and Carson Financial. And lastly, I want to talk about Offutt Air Force Base, this huge employer in the Omaha metro area, and a lot of people need to commute to base. And so that is in Bellevue. So those are kind of some of the main hubs that we see. So if you're needing to get downtown or midtown, Dundee, Aksarben, Benson, Country Club, Field Club, Hanscom Park, these are some amazing neighborhoods to live in if it's important to you to have a short commute time into your job. These commute times will be around 10, maybe 15 minutes during rush hour, especially if you hit the lights wrong. But if you hit the lights right, it can be really short. It can be 7, 8 minutes into work every day, which is pretty nice for your lifestyle because then you don't spend nearly as much time in the car, but can really enjoy one of the greatest parts about living in Omaha, which is a very short commute time. I have specific videos about a lot of those neighborhoods if you're curious about specific areas close to Midtown and downtown for work. I have a video on Dundee, Dillon Fair Acres, Benson, and Aksarben. So you can check those out, and those are helpful to figure out the exact feel of each of those neighborhoods because each of those neighborhoods have something a little bit different going for them. As far as the businesses that are a little bit more west, so the ones that are along I-80, like those PayPal, LinkedIn, Builder that I mentioned, they're really close to Interstate 680 and I-80. So if you live close to those two main corridors, it's really easy to get to work. The further west you go, like say you're going to end up like out in Elkhorn, then you just need to prepare for a little bit of a longer commute time. And again, it's probably going to be shorter than somebody who's moving from a large city, but it is going to be longer than what you have to have when you live in Omaha. Heartwood Preserve is really close to a lot of neighborhoods because it's just right along Dodge, so it's really easy to get there. There's a lot of neighborhoods just surrounding that whole area to make your commute time minutes. Another thing to consider when thinking about commute times in Omaha, it's not just a commute to work, it's also a commute to the lifestyle that you want to have. So if there are certain activities that your life revolves around, whether that's going to the gym, participating in a community group, maybe your kids are involved in sports, maybe you're involved in a sport, whatever it is, you want to think about what part of town you're going to be participating in those things. Like maybe it'll be really important for you to be a member at a country club. And so then you'll think about, oh, if I go to the country club regularly and I work here and I live here, that's going to be a lot of time driving, where it's possible to be able to live really close to both work and whatever your activity is in a lot of instances. Or maybe if you know that work and that activity is going to be equally important, then you'll want to kind of be right in between the two, so then to cut down on the commute time for both. A couple of neighborhoods to avoid if you know you're going to be working in midtown or downtown and you really want a short commute, I would probably stay away from like deep into Millard, Elkhorn, Bennington. These are going to lead to pretty long commute times, especially during rush hour. So if you can avoid rush hour, then you're fine. And maybe you're like, I'm moving from a place where I have to commute an hour and a half each way. Then this is even from Bennington to downtown is going to be so much shorter than where you're moving from. But if having a super short commute is most important, then there are a lot of great neighborhoods close to downtown where you can have basically a non-existent commute. Omaha is great at making a commute very doable and very possible for you. So if you are unsatisfied with your current commute, know that there are tons of options out there. If you're moving to Omaha or thinking about making a move within Omaha to a different part of the city, maybe to accommodate that commute, download my free neighborhood guide on my website at heymorganputnam.com so you know exactly what the right fit is for what you are looking for in your next house. My name is Morgan Putnam, and I'm a local realtor. You can text or call me at 402-720-9886, or you can email me at morgan@heymorganputnam.com.